This. There we go. This works. There we go. Working folks in the union must associate employees overworked and underpaid. Yes, a union muster, the bosses trust the aid. He lets secure workers overworked and underpaid.
Pitting folks against each other, spreading hatred, fear, and lies, cutting down the hopes of workers who are trying to organize. I'm a union buster, the bosses trust the aid. I help keep their employees overworked and underpaid. He's a union buster, the bosses trust the aid. He helps keep their employees
underworked and underpaid.
When I was young, I used to fight for
My size, wings up butterflies.
Now I'm grown
From the wicked man, change the bill. Union master, the bosses trust the aid. I upkeep their employees overworked and underpaid. Yes, I'm union master, the bosses trust the aid. I upkeep their employees overworked and underpaid. Union buster, the bosses trust the aid. They'll be their employees overworked and underpaid. He's a union buster, the bosses trust the aid. He helps keep their employees overworked and underpaid. Do 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 do. I figure I at least add a couple of Uni tunes to my little playlist in the background. At least for today. I don't know what it is, but I kind of a little feeling that itch today. A little bit of the Union itch. I mean, every day should be that itch, but today exceptionally more so. So. Okay, what's playing now? I know it's some scare band. Oh, Cheapskate. Oops. I think this should help balance out shit, you know. Don't be like that, little quote. Get back here. There we go. Jeez, dog, what are you fucking knocking over? Dog's knocking shit over. That's always great. All right, perfect. Plugged in. Excelente. Caliente. Now we just have to kind of organize our ass over here a little bit. Can we do that? Or is that impossible? Actually, no, it's not impossible, but I need a little balance. I need this thing to balance it out. Let's do that. Hey, 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 alende, el caliente, ay, 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 oi, ay, oi. There we go. All right. I think we got it. I ain't fucking with it anymore. I think we got it now. Why is that going off right now?
What?
We got water just running in the background. Oh shit. Some mopping situation is going down, I think.
Some what?
A mopping situation. I'm assuming the big yep. I was right. Some Dawn soap and a big bucket of water. That makes sense.
You know, it's not a type of tea around here very often.
You want me to put it over there for you? Because I'm sure it's going to be pretty heavy as fuck, once it fills up.
No, it is like that.
I just know how water tends to be a heavy fuck sometimes, as a compound. So I always want to, make sure about that. I think some people underestimate the power of water occasionally. And it's like, water is a fearsome force, honestly. Heavy as fuck. It could be, powerful shit, especially when you're in the ocean and stuff like that. Like, it's a powerful thing.
Yeah. I'm not going to throw it all away. It's going to be, really dirty out, so.
Yeah.
More is going to really help me.
Ooh. Doggo. I know you need to be out of the way. I could tell you're right in the way. Yeah, come on. That a boy. Good boy. Come here. Lay down here. Lay down. Lay down. Good boy. Good boy. Aw, good little dog. He's learning. He knows how to fucking obey commands. That's the thing about Zukov. Like, he is a little mixed about shit like that. Where he, doesn't want to listen sometimes, but he is capable of understanding commands. He's just very selective about it. I heard her yell, oh, damn it. So I should probably go see what might have or may not have happened. Let me go double check. Just make sure shit's Gucci. Oh, kitty. Oh, where's the kitty? He's like, oh, hell no. Where's the kitty? I bring forth our kitty. I bring forth the kitty. He is so traumatized. He's like, fuck this shit. How dare you bring me forth here? You're okay, kitty. You're okay, boy. You're okay, kitty. That should smell kind of good. Did you get like a little refreshment, on your fur? Oh, you smell like some good soap. Oh, this is a good kitty. Who's a good kitty? Who's a good kitty? Yes, he is. Who's a good boy? Oh. Yeah, he's a good boy. He's good. He's a Gucci boy. He's a good boy. Yeah. Oh, you're purring. You're purring now. You were growling in every step of the way when I got here. Now you're purring. Now you're purring. That tail's going nuts. Yeah, you're a happy boy. Yeah, you love this. You haven't felt this much bliss in a minute, dude. I could tell. Oh, he hasn't felt this much love in a minute. There you go. Hey, don't be in that foo-foo. Zukov, be a good boy and let him pass. Dude, Zukov literally ran away like a bitch. He ran away at the cat approaching him. He literally ran off like a bitch. Oh my god, he just fucking ran off like a little sissy, dude. Holy shit, that was awesome. That was the greatest thing I just saw tonight. My dog ran away from the cat like a fucking pussy, dude. Oh, yeah, you a little princess. You're a sissy little princess, you know that? You like to try to act all macho, but you're not. You're a little pussy. You're a little bitch, bro. You ran away from a fucking cat. My God, bro. Ran off from a goddamn cat like a little bitch. The fuck, dude? What a little pussy. Skip this on a little bit. There we go. You know, wanting to go a little loosey-goosey. I don't need to be loosey-goosey. Don't be loosey-goosey. There we go. As long as it doesn't slip and fall, that's all that matters. You know, I'm kind of thinking, what type of little rant do I have in the roster right now? Because I got a few little, like, rants that I got and honestly kind of, like, kept in mind right now. And there's a few of them that I'm just like, I should pull that shit out right about now. And I'm trying to think, which one should I do? Yeah, I think honestly there's two that are really creeping up in my mind pretty exceptionally. And I was even saying at the very beginning, I kind of have a little bit of a union itch. So that's been kind of hitting me a little bit. But at the same time, there's some foreign stuff that's been hitting me too a little bit. A little bit of, some Middle Eastern itches as well. Because honestly, I got some really strong positions about how I feel about certain things, and I kind of want to just let them out, just for catharsis' sake, honestly. So, you know what, fuck it. I think I might as well just do both. Compañero los dos. Compañero los dos, eh? Yeah? Que no. Compañero los dos. Que no. So I think I might, just do both. Though I think one of them's shorter than the other. So I think I'm going to do the more foreign policy one, or the more foreign body politic one first. just because I know that one is going to probably be shorter. And that one is the good, lovely, old infamous IP. The old IPH, or I guess IPL, depending on when you look at it nowadays. Israel, Palestine, Lebanon, or Israel, Palestine, Hezbollah. Yay, that topic. Excelente, caliente, oh, amazing. Which, you know, like here's what it is. I mean, now that I propped it up and mentioned it, now I might as well just lay it down. This is gonna be some fiery shit. Well, maybe not super fiery, but at least, you know, there's a little passion to it. Because I grew up as a Christian Zionist. You know, grew up evangelical Christian, you know, via my mom especially, and, you know, being pro-Israeli and pro-Israel. And especially these days, how I see this government and the ethnic peoples of the Israeli people specifically, and the culture that they establish and push and proselytize, I, you know, more and more, I find myself at animosity and at genuine, honestly, vehement, you know, vitriol and fucking, you know, honestly, for lack of better words, hatred to this shit. Because, like, this whole fundamental fucking thing about this whole greater holy ethnic Israeli state and shit is fundamentally rooted in religious fascistic nationalism. Fundamentally. And this is, and at the end result is what the fuck we're seeing now. And I'm against ultra hyper religious, quasi mystical fucking ethno nationalistic bullshit. I don't give a fuck if they're the Nazis or the, you know, Israeli Jews, you know, today. And when it comes to the Israeli government, or when it comes to China, when it comes against the Uyghurs and any other, you know, Chinese minority, you know, that lives in, you know, the Chinese state and shit, or in America, when it comes to like the marginalized, you know, immigrants and, you know, the black communities, you know, and the indigenous Native Americans, you know, that have lived here, you know, well before the establishment of America. It's like all these fucking things, you know, are a major fundamental, like, agitation, you know, for me. And to see Israel is be a fundamental proxy of these ideas is such a disgusting thing to me, especially considering what, you know, Jewish and Israeli people have went through for hundreds, if not thousands of fucking years. Pogroms, fucking religious justifications to exterminate, you know, Jewish folk, you know, in different, you know, Christian kingdoms in Europe and shit. Because Christians did not, you know, believe and thought, you know, money lending was a sin. So Christians would never fucking, you know, run banks and shit. But guess what? Other, you know, indigenous / you know, religious communities would do that. Pagans and Jews. So the predominant motherfuckers that be doing money lending were Jewish people in these, you know, regions in Europe, you know, for the longest fucking time. And who was the main scapegoat when the city-states and the kingdoms suddenly got bankrupt? Them, the Jewish people that, you know, and these pogroms came from that shit. And now these motherfuckers are just straight, you know, hold on. I love the song, but I'm a little, whoops. God, fuck it. Can we not do that? Okay, there we go. Love the song, but not fit the mood. But like I was saying, it's like, you know, their government and these people are now like, you know, proselytizing exactly the shit that happened to these, you know, ethnic peoples, you know, in their past, and are using that as basically at this point as a scapegoat. It's like these were the individuals and the ethnic people that were, you know, suffering from pogroms, and now they're committing the pogroms. And these pogroms are against the Palestinians, and it happens every fucking day, ever since 48. And it's like, we can't recognize the fact that, like, maybe, honestly, this whole fucking state and the system probably, honestly, shouldn't exist in its current form. Because, like, this is the main problem with this whole fucking bullshit. is that the idea that Israel can only exist in its, hyper religious ethno state fucking, system. And fuck that shit. I spit in the face of that. Fuck that shit. How dare you motherfuckers try to establish a normalization of racism and bigotry because you're somehow exceptional because you're Israelites. I don't give a fuck if you're Israelites. I don't give a fuck if you're German or Chinese or fucking American or Anglo-Saxon or whatever. I could give a fuck. If this is what you push, then you're scum to me. You're a bigoted fuck. How dare you, piece of shit? I can't get over this evil fucking systemic bullshit that Israel commits, that our own government commits on our own people, and across the world, globally, sending fucking weapons to Israel, sending fucking weapons to all the, and guns and billions of dollars into this shit. And for fucking what? It doesn't benefit any of us. It doesn't benefit me as a taxpayer. All it does is, increase the opportunity for me to get drafted and fucking die in some bullshit, meaningless war for religious holy wars, for some fucking Israelite Jew somewhere in fucking Israel and Jerusalem or in the West Bank or in Gaza illegally as a colonialist settling that fucking land. Oh yeah, let me as an American die for that fucking worthless piece of shit. When that person should be on the fucking front lines and dying themselves. But no, they want to send people like you and me to fight their fucking war so they could colonize their, these other people's fucking land while they send people like us to die for that shit. These Israelites have gone too fucking far. And guess what? Sorry to say, but history says you motherfuckers got conquered as a Semitic people due to other Semitic, tribes and other Semitic cultures and people conquering your ass over the thousands of years that you've been in that region. So go fuck yourself. You can't just come back and say, oh no, now we have a claimant after thousands of fucking years of being pretty much fucking competed out of the fucking region because we just can't get good. But now that we got America to be the fuck you daddy, to fucking back us up, oh now we gotta claim it? Fuck off. Bullshit. And you know what? Fuck Kamala, but holy shit. If she wants to win any respect out of me, she'd do something about that. Because honestly, a lot of a contingency about people being undecided about her and Tim Walz right now is because of that. And she's VP. Biden is like a dementia-addled Parkinson's disease-ridden fuck that is barely there and probably hiding off in Delaware in his home. Doing nothing. Kamala, as a vice president right now, could legit take control and actually do some shit to prove that she's got the fucking good spot. If anything, this energy about her having the good spot has drained. It's gone. I mean, well, maybe not gone, but now at this point, a lot of that is looking like cope. It's not looking like fucking, oh, we're all lived up and, hey, better than Biden and think, fuck, we got her. Let's all ride with her. Now at this point, now there's a lot of people, even on the lib side of things, are starting to question her ass. Because she's starting to show her fucking flaws. And it ain't good. Now we're back at a fucking neck and neck kind of fucking race. It's always been like that. But it's more so than ever, a neck and neck race. I mean, with Biden, that was going to be a Trump mandate. Now at least we have a coin toss of whether he, Trump may or may not win. Because of Kamala. I guess to tie it into the second thing I wanted to kind of rant off about, Tim Walz is pretty much, I think, the only reason right now that I think Kamala has honestly a fucking chance. Because as a Minnesota governor, he did shit that was genuinely fucking based. Free school lunches, expanding union protections, workers' rights, expanding the minimum wage in Minnesota. Honestly, the list goes fucking on, man. He did so much shit that was great for his state of Minnesota as a governor. He's fucking amazing. And I got some reservations as a vice president about him, but way less reservations in comparison to Kamala. I saw the Kamala gauntlet that the FF did on last Friday, the other night. And dude, Kamala's bad fucking news. She's bad news galore. Like, fundamentally, she's literally just Obama, bro. Female Obama. And the fucking weird lived up energy about her is kind of fucking freaky. It's like, y'all are about to get fucking whipped up and, you know, stabbed in the back just like, you know, every motherfucker back in Obama's era back in 08. That's what's going to happen. I'm reading the writing on the wall, and I'm stepping out of that shit before it even fucking, you know, sets in stone. Like, I never was even stepping foot in that shit in the first place. I had my moment of being lived up a little bit, but I was never on the fucking Kamala train. I will always, you know, fucking stay maintaining on that shit, because fundamentally, my politics are blue-collar politics. It's about, you know, making the blue-collar average American, the average worker, you know, and their fucking life better, and that includes the immigrant. And that includes the marginalized. That includes the oppressed. That includes the queer folk. That includes all these people. And the Democrats sure shit don't represent that. And the Republicans are even way more so against these fucking ideas. So fuck both parties. They don't represent me. They don't represent the blue-collar worker. They're fucking parasites. They're there to fucking scalp as much out of us and maximize their coffers and not expand our own coffers. So fuck them. They don't represent me. And this is where my representations on Tim Walz comes into play, especially as a labor advocate. Because, like, you know, these things fucking matter. Blue-collar issues matter. Why do you think Sean Fain and Sean O'Brien are both, you know, gearing up for 2028, May 1st on May Day, general strike kind of fucking shit? Why do you think they're all on board on this? Because they've taken so much out of us, and it's about fucking time we start taking it back. And it takes a while to mobilize, you know, a fucking movement around that. And that's why in 2028, Sean Fain and O'Brien are both, you know, gearing up for a 2028 May Day strike. Because, yeah, it takes a while. And mobilizing in these next 4 years, you know, take the fucking, you know, punches, so to speak, when it comes to maybe, you know, when it comes to O'Brien going to the RNC and doing a speech there, and with Sean Fain doing a speech at fucking the DNC and shit, right? Take your fucking punches. Do what you got to do there. Maximize, you know, the voice for the blue collar and the union fucking, you know, voice, and get as many people and as many voices and as much influence in support of that shit as possible. That's why I was never against Sean O'Brien talking to the RNC, because they're, you know, he understands that the RNC is just going to fucking use him, you know, as, you know, a means to an end. He knows that. That's why he said, I'm not here to endorse anyone. I'm not here, you know, to fucking, you know, like say vote for this guy or the other. I'm here for fucking blue collar, you know, voices. I'm here for the union talk. He made that clear in his fucking speech. The fact that no one wants to fucking point that out is honestly ludicrous, because, oh, he talked of a bunch of fascists, so thus he's a fascist himself. It's like, fuck off. No, he's not. And you know what? Let the Teamsters decide if, you know, he made a good decision or not. Because a lot of Teamsters, you know, definitely didn't necessarily politically like his decision. And there's an attempt to maybe, you know, overthrow him as a, you know, Teamsters president for a different president, you know, for the Teamsters union. But who knows? Maybe there will be enough people and enough blue-collar workers that will say, you know what, I kind of liked what he was doing. Let's keep him as our Teamsters president. But at the same time, maybe a lot of them will say, no, I didn't like what he did, and we want a different union president to better represent us. You know what? That is the politics of the Teamsters. That is the union politics right there. And let them decide that. At the end of the day, he still represents them. He's still their union president. And, you know, if there is still a large influence of that fucking union that, you know, is an advocate of that same voice, then obviously he fucking matters and still means something for that. You can't just say fuck those voices and fuck those people just because it's, you know, they don't agree exactly in every fucking way that, you know, you happen to, you know, think when it comes to, you know, labor politics or just politics in general. If you don't completely agree, then fine. Just fucking, you know, agitate about that and actually be fucking honest and meet that shit face to face in an honest manner instead of being a fucking weasel. Because that's just bullshit. Because I'm willing to talk union and labor politics, and I do that all the time, even at the fucking bar that I go to and shit. And there's a lot of people there that are pro-union and a lot of them that aren't. And some of them that are actually kind of 50-50 about it. They recognize that some are pretty good and some are kind of shitty. So it's not like, you know, they don't exist, because of course they do. And I love talking those politics, you know, with those type of people about shit like that, because that shit matters. Who gives a fuck who you're voting for, this and that? Like, that is a one-day occurrence. Like, yeah, whatever. It's like, what are you going to actually do to benefit your own broader outcome? Because, like, who you vote for means fuck all. It doesn't. Because if it did, then why would they let us vote in the first place? Because if it actually meant something, they wouldn't have let us vote in the first place. And they mean the politicians in our government and the establishment and these corporations that are scalping our asses and fucking us in every fucking way. For our wages, our healthcare, the entitlements that we ought to deserve as a basic fucking right.
Education, starting with our education.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I tend to be an agitator myself, because, like, I mean, you know, like, there needs to be people like that to kind of, you know, put a check in that a little bit. And a lot of that's been kind of forgotten or, like, unlearned in a way, you know, from some people. And it's like, and this is a lot of stuff I've learned in the last, like, couple of years, that, you know, because I didn't realize, like, the actual power this type of shit kind of has. There ain't no forces weaker than the feeble strength of one, but the union makes us strong. It's like, I mean, it's in the song Solidarity Forever. I mean, that's the lyric in it, and there's truth to it. Because, like, one voice to the boss who owns a lot more fucking money than the average, you know, than the mobility average worker. It's like, you know, they obviously have way more power as a voice than, you know, the average person. So it's like, to have a collective voice to advocate for all the average people, like an international, united, one big union grand, you know, to say, hey, we have a fucking voice and you're not going to fucking disregard it, is an important thing to me. I just kind of wish it was, like, you know, more of a commonality these days. Because there was a point. Like, the IWW at its peak was during the 1910s and the 1920s. Because they collaborated with the Internationale, because the Internationale was pretty much like the European version of the IWW, because the IWW was founded in the 1910s in Chicago with Elizabeth Guthrie Flynn, Lucy Parsons, Joe Hill, like all these Bill Hayward, Eugene Debs, all these motherfuckers. And it's like, and their peak was when they were founded, basically. And they were pretty much, you know, broken and fucking busted, you know, due to the establishment and the government and, you know, these corporations that, you know, fucking broke them away, you know, to the point where they're just kind of a meme. They're kind of an influence, you know, here and there. I've met with plenty of IW members, you know, and talked to them and shit like that. I'm an IWW member myself. I'm UFCW Local 505 through and through, you know, fundamentally. That's where my bread and butter comes from, but I'm also a part of the IWW as a musician and lyricist. So it's like, I mean, you know, these things are important to me. And it's like, you know, and unfortunately, the IWW hasn't have the strength that it used to, but it needs to grow way stronger than ever. I mean, Zukov's boofing about it. He's like, yes! Zukov, okay, we get it. We get it, buddy. Chill. I know what to do. The only banks I like Ernie Banks, all right. I like the banks of the old Columbia River. Yeah, like banks of reverb. Digital guitar amplified. Raging on the stage, and yeah. He's like a hawk and Vincent in the doo-doo log. Republicans want it all, and kitchen jackets really small. Leave one poor and to give it to the rich, and make the president ditch it, ditch. Oh. Ow. It's an example. Zero hair and even last there. Ideas. Get keep going after me. Oh, so Jones can suck my dong. Yeah.
All right. Everybody say these three magic words. I want you to help me say the words. I want you to repeat after me. Here we go.
I hate banks. I hate banks, but foo-foos. Yeah, fuck the banks. Part of the fucking broader problem I'm talking about. Just kind of glad that the song is conveniently playing in tandem with what I'm talking about. Because honestly, I'm not even gonna lie, I got kind of a idea in my head. And my idea is honestly at my workplace, I want to get my like a little notebook. I want to go to as many coworkers, at least the ones that I definitely know about, have to rapport with, know them, like a lot. I honestly know a lot of coworkers that have been working there since I've been working there. So I want to get a little notebook. And then, oh God, I love this song, but fuck, copyright's gonna be shitty. Let me do this real quick. Fucking hell. God damn it. It's such a great song, but fuck. There we go. That would be a little better. But get a little notebook and write some notes of every coworker that, at least, I can, think of that I can talk to. Do this, over the course of a couple days, because I know some people that I know will have weekends and shit like that. And I'm thinking, it's like, hey, what's your grievances? What are the problems that you have? And I want, to have their grievances and complaints and shit like that written in a notebook. And then I want to, pretty much broadly, overlap what is the most common denominator. Use that as the number one fucking focal point, and then use the second, third, fourth common denominators when it comes to complaints, and use these as a thing to just say, you know what, look, collaborate everyone's schedules, with each other, and when when the most of us happen to be working on a certain day, we fucking walk out. We show up, we clock on for our shifts. We have, some science stuff, right outside. We go in, we tell everyone else that may or may not be aware of it and say, hey, we're going to be right outside of the store. We got some science and shit laid out. A wildcat strike. We're going to do a wildcat strike. If you want to join us, close shit up. Don't worry about cleaning stuff. Just at least make sure that things are close up so nothing gets, fucked up or whatever when it comes to food, when it comes to whatever, so do your basic shit. We'll give you 30 minutes, but as soon as you're ready, go right outside. We'll be waiting. And, for those who don't, well, eventually I think honestly given enough time, they'll say, fuck this and leave. And then they'll see us outside and be like, yo, join us. It's like, there's a reason why, we're waiting for you kind of thing. You know what I mean? Because if these fucking managers honestly want to fucking try to run every goddamn department by themselves, then fuck them. Honestly, if they want to call in other people from other stores, then they're scabs. Like, we'll just say, hey, there's a reason why we walked out. Can you honestly respect, as, a fellow union member, because we're all part of the same union. Can you please respect the fact that we're walking out the way we are and do not go in there? Can you not do that, please? And if anything, join us. Like, I mean, you don't, if you want to clock in, do that, but join us. Like, I mean, because there's a reason why we're out here. And that's why I want to have the notebook, with all the specific grievances, especially with every, individual that I can at least, get to about this. Because then I can, I can pull that shit out and be like, here's the reason why. Here's every individual grievance, from every worker here. I got my shop steward fucking pin here. I'm the, shop steward here in this fucking store. I'm the only one here as that shop steward. And even I get fucked over some shit. You'll see my grievances in here. You'll see, other people's grievances. And here's, the most common denominators in the broader grievances and the reason why we're doing this strike. So can you not cross the picket line? Can you please respect that? And if you do clock in, join the picket line and get paid for it. Because fuck this company. Like, if they want to, bitch about time theft, then, fucking treat us better. Address these grievances, and maybe we won't have to worry about that. Now, would we? So fuck them. You know what? I'm gonna do it. I honestly, actually, you know what? Tomorrow I'm gonna fucking do that. I'm also gonna start talking to a few people and be like, you know what? What's their biggest fucking complaints? And I'm even gonna talk to my store, department manager. I'm gonna talk to her too, even about this. I'm like, can you please keep this on the DL? But I don't know if you as a manager are a part of the union or not. But even if you're not, you know what? I'll talk with them and see if I can make sure that you get protected if you want to join us with this shit. Because I want to get the other department managers and I want to get everyone else involved in this. Or at least as many people as possible. Because the fucking shit that we have to deal with right now in the past few months. I mean, she was fucking, my department manager was walked up to me and another coworker that, she trusts us enough. She was fucking crying to us about the fucking insane shit that our store director did her and writ her up and writ all of us up basically as a department over shit that maybe a couple people did as a mistake or whatever the fuck when it came to food safety violations or whatever. It's fuck that shit. This store director is going way too fucking far, being some fucking Stasi authoritarian fucking, goddamn 1984 style George Orwell fucking shit. This Irish fucking cunt. This fucking last cunt of a fucking Irish bitch has got another thing fucking coming. I mean, legit, fuck her. There was a point where I was kind of liking her a little bit because she was kind of chill. But that friendly rapport was just honestly just to get under your skin a little bit so she could find other, exceptional reasons to fuck you. So fuck this cunt. Irish lassie ass motherfucker. She messed with the wrong motherfucker when it came to that store. Other people aren't really as prone about the whole idea about organizing with the worker, but I am. And that cunt has fucking messed with the wrong Irish lad. That fucking Irish lassie cunt has messed with the wrong fucking Irish lad. She messed with a fucking Irish rage bulldog. I'm quarter Irish. That fucking shit comes so hard out when I'm a raging motherfucker. And she messed with the wrong bitch. She messed with the wrong bad bitch. For her first fucking store, she's about to fucking realize what a goddamn fucking union strong, position is. Because they're going for contract negotiations too. Our workers of solidarity, Fred Myers and shit, they got a separate contract and stuff. They're on strike right now. And it's I'm going to stand in solidarity with them. And, with this, with that UAW fucking picket sign, there's going to be addition to that. Because I'm going to stand in solidarity with some motherfuckers because I mean, their struggle's my struggle. And in fact, honestly, we've been getting fucked even more so because of that shit. I don't blame them. You know what? Fucking A. Bless them. I hope they get a good fucking contract. But it fucks us still. And we're going for a contract ourselves. So if we end up going on strike, they're going to feel the same thing. So at least, by that point, their contract hopefully should be solidified and they'll have a better outcome and a better position, with that. But for us, we're still dealing with the last contract, which at this point, it means fucking nothing. Our current contract that I guess at this point is now expired, that we're still abiding by, like, that means fucking nothing anymore. Like, it means legit fuck all. So, it's the reason why this shit's happening. This is why, like, the agitation in the organization, amongst blue-collar workers and labor needs to be, a more consistent and a more bigger talking point. Fuck electoralism. Fuck politics. Blue-collar labor agitation is where it needs to be. Because if not, then we're just getting cucked out of our own fucking potential, positive well-being and outcomes. We just are. Because these parties, are not looking any different from each other. And we need something better beyond just like the same reciprocal bullshit cycle. A Jamaican, Indian, black, Obama woman versus, regular Obama. It's like, wow. Progressivism and change and shit's gonna be going so strong. We're all lived up, aren't we? Back to brunch and back to sipping our mimosas. Aw. That little dog is a sleepyhead. A sleepy little boy. Oh, cute little goof. I need to find a way to make this hat, like, be shaped. Do I need, like, a little patch or something back here or some shit? Because every time I have this hat, it... it flops like this, and then also it just squishes in itself. It's hard to just like flip it up like this. I have to have it in like a certain way to do it. There we go. There we go. Sometimes I won't do that. See? And there we go. Oh my god. See? It's bullshit. I have to like flick it. I have to flick the fucking hat to make it work. Too many pins on this thing. The pins are weighing it down. If it could get little mini patches on it, maybe on the back. Pins in the front, patches in the back. Little mini patches. Nah. I'm just gonna have the entire thing pinned up. Eventually the whole thing, even in the back, will be pinned. I mean, I'm already halfway there anyway. I got these cute little guys. This little dude giving the fucking middle finger to Lula. Chilling on her fucking little pin. Or her little phone. And then I got these little bad boys. So, I mean, shit's all even. I just need to, like, fill it up all the way, with the last, like, 180 degrees on it. Because now, this whole thing is going to be pinned up. Even on the top. Like, I'm eventually going to have pins circling around the top of this fucking thing. And you know what? I love it because this is 1 out of 5 hats that have ever been made for this band, Los Malblados. And I am the one guy out of the 5 motherfuckers that have bought these hats that have just consistently have had this thing. Even Eric of Lost Small Blows is kind of surprised. He's like, I'm pretty sure like all the other hats are just like lost to time. This is the one hat that has survived it all. And I'm just like, dude, if I can sit you down for like 30 minutes to tell you every story and every time I've lost this hat and found it again, you would be shocked on how this hat has like surprisingly have survived it all. I mean, there's a lot of times where this fucking hat nearly was lost to time. But my gumption was like, fuck no. Oh, hell no. I never ever, got a chance to sat down and shit like that about it, but I've at least told him one of the stories. And the one was just like, I was like going to a show for Battle Beast, because I showed him that pin. It's like, because he noticed all the pins I've had on it. It's like, been out of pins to it. And I was like, yeah. And the last time I lost his fucking hat was literally right before I was seeing this band Battle Beast. And I was like, okay, well, I lost, the hat, sometime in between me and going home from the bar. So I know there's only literally like 2 places where it could be. Either at the Sevies or at the bar. I went to the bar first, wasn't there. I was like, oh shit, okay. So, to get cash back for, some bus fare, I went to, the Sevies thinking it might be there. That fucking hat was in the middle of the road, like 1/5 of a block away from the fucking bar. Or not the bar, but the fucking 7-Eleven. I was just like, holy shit. And I found the fucking hat, with most of these pins smushed. Like this pin right here, like a car ran over it. So now those pins are permanently smushed in there forever. Like like this fucking pin, that one ain't going anywhere, which I'm okay with because good band, love the pin, fits. And then this DRI pin with Dirty Rotten Imbeciles, as you can tell, it got fucked up forever. And I've yet to be able to get it out. But I'm going to fucking force it out one day because DRI is, I think, playing in early October and the tickets haven't sold out yet. So, I got another chance to, buy a couple pins for it, so I can at least replace it. Because, this poor little bastard's got fucked up. Sadly. But, hey, you know what? It's still there, still clinging on, and even a lot of these pins, are still there. Like that one, this one, that one, and obviously this one. Like a lot of pins got smushed in that car, and only one of them fell off. I don't know. I forgot which one it was, but it was gone forever. So whatever, it's okay. This is kind of the spirit of the pins. They come and go, dude. That's just the spirit of the pins. I also even tell that to someone at the bar tonight, like, because someone complimented me on all my pins, that I had going on my jacket. Yeah, and I was like, hey, a lot of these I bought myself, but some of them I've gotten at punk shows, and I've lost a bunch of punk shows. So there's kind of like a spirit of the pins, that I kind of abide by it almost. Where it's like a lot of these pins I've collected, and a lot of them I've found at shows, and a lot of them I lost at shows. So you should have seen some of the pins from last year and stuff like that. So I use this more as a casual jacket. I don't really bring this to shows anymore, at least for this jacket, just because like there's too many pins on here now where I care too much to want to lose, in a mosh, you know what I mean? So I'm going to get another jacket so I can have other pins and shit like that now at this point, because there's a lot of pins on here I do not want to lose. Like, honestly, I'm just going to be honest. Like, every pin on here, I do not want to lose. Like, every pin on here, I'm just like, hell. Dude, look at the holy shit, dude. I just honestly now realizing, like, look at this. Insane, bro. Bro, insane. Look at all these pins. This one I'm glad does not show up because this is literally a sex pin. It's showing like a woman getting eaten out. So I'm glad that this is not showing. But anyway, whatever. But look at all these other, dude, look at them all. Dude, holy shit, bro. A lot, dude. Yeah, I can't. I rarely ever bring this to shows anymore. If I know I'm not moshing, I'll bring it to a show. But if I am, or I know I might be, I don't bring it anymore because there's too many pins that I just appreciate and love. I just can't do it. I'll bring the hat. I don't give a fuck. Like, none of these pins are falling off my hat. But, like, I mean, at least when it comes to, like, the jacket, I don't trust any of these pins to stay on anymore. I mean, this one, like, I love this one, but this one right here, like, I need to get, like, a little pin back or something and glue it on here now because, like, the actual thing that holds the fucking pin is gone. I lost that. So, and you could tell it broke off and I had to glue it on, and then now it's lost again. So I'm just a little fucked on that. So I need to find a way to put this pin back on again. Well, now I'm just dropping it into oblivion, so that's always fucking great. But it's like, I want to put it back on somewhere, but it literally will fall off as soon as I fucking put it on there. You know what I mean? It's like, what the fuck? It's bullshit, dude. It's bonk. I mean, yeah, like a little pushback pin set or some shit. I mean, that's the only way I can do it. Like, and just glue it on there and then, like, put it on my jacket and then just smash the pin back, so it permanently is sealed on there, just like this other pin. So they're like this. Like, I mean, that's the only way to do it now, I think, honestly. So that will stay on this jacket forever. But you know what? That's good. I want these pins to stay on this jacket forever. Got them jelly beans, dog. I got them jelly beans. Hell yeah, dude. Okay, there we go. Also, I had an insane craving for butterscotch lately. Dude, butterscotch is pretty fucking fire. Speaking of October, I'll be in September now. Let the holiday season practically in full swing now. Since you're in retail, I'm going to put this as delicately as possible. You're fucked. I know I'm fucked. Honestly, fuck my work anyway. I mean, I'm sure you tuned into a little bit of my labor talk. Like, I had little two things that I wanted to get into, and I kind of went into them already. IP/LH. You can figure out what that is on your own. Middle East. There you go. Summed it up for you. And then it kind of slowly but surely eventually tied into the other one, which is labor talk. Some union stuff. Because honestly, I don't know if you were talking about, or if you tuned into when I was talking about this, but I want to, like, get a little notebook and then like talk to as many coworkers as possible, because I know, those who are like managers, part of other departments in my own department and shit. I want to, like, legitimately, like, talk to them, be like, what specifically are your grievances? Let me write them down, so I can, not just talk to the union about it, but honestly, even, if they don't agree, with it or not, let's do a wildcat strike. And honestly, especially when it comes to, like, while Fred and Meyer are doing their strike, if we did a wildcat strike, due to our predominant grievances amongst all this shit, we could fuck some shit right on up. I mean, honestly, I don't think that would happen, but if it was at least, anywhere near around the time that shit was going on, I bet it would be pretty devastating. In a way, if that would be good for us. But I don't know, I'll have to see. Maybe, try to galvanize and agitate a little bit. So, one of those things where I have to at least not get too far ahead on it. Can these hiccups go the fuck away? Holy shit. Happy Labor Day Eve. I just coined the term Labor Day Eve. Well, hey. You want to know some weird history about Labor Day? America, the United States, I don't know if it was Woodrow Wilson, but I think it might have been him. But, the whole point of Labor Day, funny enough, was pretty much meant to kind of, like, nullify May Day and International Workers' Day, because a lot of workers back in the early 1900s and shit were obviously pretty gun-ho about labor rights and shit like that, yada yada. And May Day and International Workers' Day was like a big day for them. But the United States, and especially the government at that point, was like, nah, we need to kind of like divide this a little bit and pretty much kind of undermine this whole fucking agitation and like, broader, history of this. So they pretty much moved the whole American style of, Workers' Day to be Labor Day, which was well into September and not, in May, on May 1st with May Day, International Workers' Day. So, like while May Day is, seen in America as a different holiday, and across the world, it's seen as International Workers' Day. But, the Workers' Day for America is Labor Day. And even then, at this point, it has pretty much been destroyed, in that idea. Like, that's not what it's about anymore. It's about pretty much like getting some sales at the retail market, sales, when it comes to like, in deals and discounts and all this other bullshit. It has nothing to do with the actual fucking worker struggle anymore. And that was kind of the point. Dude, these hiccups will not go away. Holy shit. Bruh. Nice meet. Mike Figueredo made a tweet earlier saying support strikers, and among them was Safeway. Well, as far as I'm aware, Safeway ain't striking. I mean, Safeway and Fred Meyers here in the local area in Oregon, we're all in the same union, UFCW Local 555. Like, so, I mean, it's one of those things where we just have different contracts. So Safeway, in our contract is different from Kroger / Fred Meyer in their contracts. So their contract is different from ours. Our contracts are aligned with each other a little bit. So, their contract expires sooner than ours, and thus their negotiations start sooner. And that's why when it comes to strikes and stuff and all this other shit, our local union, I don't know why, but they kind of focus on Fred Meyer and Kroger more so than us when it comes to Albertsons or Safeway and these local adjacent stores. Like, because like a lot of the big waves that our local union makes is with Fred Meyers and shit. Like, and maybe the reason why is because like if they can be hardball with them, then it makes Safeway and Albertsons, a little freaked out and be like, oh shit, I don't want that happening to me. Because the last time that our local union made waves was literally 1 week before Christmas back in 2020. Like during the October strike, kind of shit. And they were like one of the more like late bloomers on it, but they made a major fucking wave with Fred Meyers and shit, striking literally like a week or two before Christmas. And they made a lot of international news and national news over shit like that. And it was some big waves, with shit like that. So, I mean, I could kind of see why they're a little more hardball there, because then they could kind of like, be like, hey, do you want to fucking suffer like they did, to our company that I work for and shit when it comes to Safeway? Like, so I can kind of see why they do it, but can we be just as, if not even honestly, more aggressive? Because I think our company takes advantage of shit like that. It's like, because while they're going for this shit, our union's focusing more so with Fred Meyer and, the strikes and stuff like that, even though it's only for 1 week. Like, it's one of those things where, our company and our store, and broadly all these other stores, especially Safeway, Albertsons, etc., they get fucked way more so, because of that shit. But it's also the other way around, too. Like, if we ever happen to strike, Fred Meyers and Kroger, stores would get fucked. So it's not really like, a permanent fucking on our part, or for us, so to speak. But it's still kind of like, we tend to, unfortunately, kind of get a little bit more of the brunt of shit like this. And I just kind of wish our union would kind of focus with us just as much as they would with Fred Meyer contracts and shit. Just, but our union is fucking huge. Like the UFCW is the third, I think the fifth largest union in America, and affiliated with the AFL-CIO. And unfortunately, the AFL-CIO and a lot of the unions adjacent with the AFL-CIO, and including the UFCW, they tend to be a little bit more lib than more radical, like worker adjacent in comparison. And that's the unfortunate fact about it. Like you might find some locals are more radical than not. And my local union is definitely not a radical union. Sad to say. I wish it was, but that's why people like me when it comes to union members need to be the agitators, kind of pressure that shit a little bit, because that's important. That's where the importance of organizing comes into place. Because even if a union may or may not be failing on certain aspects of things, the organization aspect between fellow workers to even pressure your own union to be like, hey, step your fucking game up a little bit. It's like, that's a good thing. At the end of the day, that's still labor and union advocacy and agitation. Because sometimes you have to put a log under the union's ass a little bit and say, hey, can you fucking focus on us too? We get that there's some shit that you need to focus on when it comes to strikes and stuff, that, for the contracts and shit. 100%, totally get it. But hey, can you not forget about us here? You know what I mean? It's like, because there's a certain level about that shit where it is annoying. Because when they do focus on our shit, suddenly we got a lot of leeway as workers, and we can kind of, skirt around the edges way more so than not, and those fucking bosses and the store director can't do shit. But while, our local rep and a lot of our, unions represent, the strikes right now going on, and they're not part of our contracts, we end up pretty much getting the fucking brass tacks of getting brunted, with, the company pretty much fucking us in the back in every way possible. That's why I honestly want to do a Wildcat strike. And if I can honestly, get it to be a part of, the Fred Meyer strikes, even if it's my own store, and that's it. Dude, honestly, the local media press would fucking jump on that shit, bro. And if I'm the one fucking leading it, dude, I would probably be on fucking articles and local news shit, dude. Okay, now the more I'm thinking about this, the more I really need to fucking do it, dude. Because, what my store director has been doing to my store, and basically make it to the point where even my own store department manager wants to fucking leave and say fuck this shit and go back to a store that's way closer to her where she would have better opportunities back in Salmon Creek or whatever. It's like, she's fucking up. And by she, I mean the store director. She's fucked up, and she does not give an iota of a fuck about any of us. And, even if she's willing to be in our departments and work, behind, our departments and shit. Earlier today, she was doing, stocking and our backload and shit. The only time she ever talked to me was like, hey, can you, do some pot pies and, get some whole roasted chickens out and stuff like that? That's the only time she ever talked to me. So apparently she was in a good mood and didn't pull me in her office or anything. So whatever. Fucking A. But, I mean, it's like, that shit don't mean nothing to me. When I called out for the Volume Bomb block party, when I was going to that shit last Saturday, her and the assistant store director were in our department, because it wasn't just me. It was 3 other people that called out that day, apparently. And, oh my God, you know what? Honestly, I don't feel empathy. It's like, you know what? Do you now know how much we get fucked because of your bullshit? And now you're in our department, but it ain't gonna fucking change your mind. You're just all there, to make a fucking quota, so you don't give a shit. There's a point where I was like, just kind of sitting there waiting for customers, and she's like, hey, can you do some snapbacks? And I looked at the snapback area where, in our, floor area where they all are at. It was like 3/4 full. It's like, what snapbacks do you even want me to fucking make? Like, it's mostly full. Do you want me to just make more of the same shit that's out there? Because I already know how to make most of those. I mean, I did, and she didn't give a shit, apparently. Like, so I guess having, like, 15 duo seafood cracker snap pack fucking things or whatever the shit, like, she didn't care about that. Whatever. I guess there's snap packs and they're out there. So, whatever, you know, like, she didn't give a shit. You think she would, though. It's like, can you make a variety? Can you do, like, you know, snack pack sliders or something? You would think she would try to make it a little bit more difficult. But you know what? She was in a good mood that day, so she didn't. So whatever. I ain't complaining. I just hope that tomorrow or fucking Monday, I don't get called in for any fucking shit when it comes to, like, you know, being in her office, because I sort of fucking gotta do it. I'm gonna, like, honestly be obstinate and be like, nope. Like, you know, at worst, when it comes to my breaks, like, I may, or, you know, hit the 13 or 14 minute mark maybe at the most, but nope. Sometimes I go to the bathroom before I go right back to my fucking, you know, kiosk, you know, in department, you know, during my breaks. And yeah, maybe that looks like it extends time, but you know, it's like, hey, nature calls, nature calls. This is one of those fucking things, dude. It's like, I mean, I'm not gonna fucking, you know, just like, you know, take this shit like a dog no more. If she wants to fucking pull me in the office about like, oh, you took an extensive break or you're taking like 40-minute lunch breaks or some shit, it's like, no. I'm on my piece of cues. You know, I know exactly when I've been doing my shit. It just because it looks like, you know, I'm in the kiosk longer, you know, than my fucking break or whatever the shit. Or I clock on maybe a little longer than 30 minutes or some shit, that doesn't mean I'm not in the store ready to go back to work. Sometimes nature calls and I got to take a shit. Or sometimes, you know, maybe I'm washing my hands. Or maybe I'm talking to one of my coworkers in the break room and just talking some scuttlebutt stuff. You know, just talking to scuttlebutt about what's going on in their department, what's going on in my department. You know, sometimes I'm talking with other people. Maybe it's outside. Maybe it's in the break room. Either way, it's like I'm not, like, just fucking off. So I swear to God, if I get called in that office, I don't know when or if it is happening, but I'm waiting for it, dude, because I know it's going to at some point. I swear to God it's going to. So I swear to shit, like, if she pulls me in, I'm going to be like, nope. And in fact, if you're writing me up about some shit, I want my union rep in this fucking office with me the next time we have this conversation. And we're not having this conversation anymore. My writing guard rights and me as a worker, I'm instilling my rights right now. And I'm saying, nope, my union rep is going to be in here for this conversation specifically. And I'm sorry, but I'm arguing. I'm going to argue with this. I'm going to fight on this. Because this right here is starting to be some bullshit, and I feel like you're just trying to clean house, and I'm not here to fucking be, you know, cleaned out. You know, I got fucking family that my fucking wages go to. My fucking money ain't going just to me. So fuck that shit. I mean, it's not just going to my dog either. It's going to my fucking mom and her fucking well-being to make sure she fucking lives, you know, for another 10, 15 years. It goes to my fucking dad because he barely take care of himself, even though he could do better. It's going to myself, you know, to the extent. It's going to shit that ain't just about my ass. And I ain't just going to be fucked on when it comes to shit like that. And she wants to fucking play that goddamn game. You know, be some fucking hard-ass Irish lassie like some Boudica. I'm going to be the fucking Irish fucking Roman, you know, fucking general being Celtus Germanicus, you know, Odysseus, you know, Augustus or some shit, dude. I'm about to fucking, you know, lay waste to her ass. Fuck that. Because I'm legit sick of this shit. My department manager was fucking crying to me, being like, I'm done with this. It's like, I mean, and I generally like her, and if she's fucking done, then I'm fucking done. I mean, it's a weird thing where it's like, honestly, where my manager goes, like, I will go. And, yeah, because my store director, she ain't my fucking manager, my department manager is. And I honestly, legit, I've said it multiple times, like, I like her. And she's actually genuinely, you know, looked out for me and for all of us. And for, you know, like, my fellow coworkers. Like, she actually genuinely gives a fuck. And I like her about that. I like that about her. And she's done, then I'm fucking done. And I don't want to see her leave necessarily because I do like her as a department manager. I think she does a pretty decent, goddamn good job. So, I mean, honestly, out of all the department managers I had, outside of the very first one that I did have, I think she's one of the best department managers I've had, to be fucking frank. Like, outside the very first department manager I had, but she fell off because she ended up breaking up with her husband, had a whole divorce, and went party mode and stopped giving a fuck about even her own work. And shit went downhill ever since with her. I love her and she's great, but that was just one, unfortunately, the sad things about, what happened with her as a department manager. But when it comes to this current one, that's never been a problem. I mean, look, she's definitely got her flaws, but it's like, I'd rather her have those flaws and be as good as she is than have somebody new. It's like the devil you know versus the angel you don't, right? It's like, I'd rather not know the angel I don't know versus the devil I know, flaws and all, because at least she gives a fuck. At least she cares. She actually kind of looks at me as a way to kind of like release stress and talk scuttlebutt with me about certain things. There's only one thing I kind of recently right now that I wish she would just honestly have like told me about and maybe gave me a heads up. When I got suspended for 3 days, like the store director talked to her about this shit well before I was aware of this shit. And look, I'll say this. I'm glad that she said, look, can you please, suspend him like on Monday where he has the 2 days off so it doesn't fuck my department up and I have to fucking, go emergency mode to figure out how to fucking fill the gaps. And she was like, okay, sure. So on Monday, that's when I was fucking pissed off, going fucking, anger mode about that shit. Like, weirdly enough, my department manager, again, fucking, was looking out for me in a weird way. Because that shit probably would have happened on Sunday, and that conversation would have happened the day before, and I would have been even more fucking pissed, because now on Monday, I'm fucked there, because, hey, I can't make no fucking money there, because I ain't fucking working. So it's like, I would have been extra fucked. So honestly, I'm glad that she, did stick up for me a little bit. I just kind of wish that, the fucking lassie Irish Boudica cunt that she is would have fucking made that conversation more around 5 o'clock, because I know exactly when the store director leaves. It's 5:30. That's when she leaves. She could have made that conversation at like 5 o'clock instead. Especially, so I can make sure that at least, everyone else is not fucked over and I can at least catch them up a little bit so they ain't screwed. Because she knows I do a fucking goddamn good job. She knows that shit, but she don't give a fuck. She's just trying to clean house. That's what she's doing. Is she's writing all these other people up, especially these people that she expects, to be just fucking automatons and shit. Oh, hell no. Fuck no. That ain't gonna work, and that ain't happening. Because, like, a lot of us are just immediately, increasingly having more animosity against sick of the shit. So I'm so vindicated about this. I feel so fucking vindicated about it. And now, honestly, the next step is to agitate. Because fuck this shit. I don't want to necessarily see, our crew, my department leave and get fucked like this. Honestly, I do want to see all of us kind of stick together and be able to hash out for a little longer, so we can at least build some comfortability for ourselves instead of fucking taking a blind gamble and hoping the next job offers that. I mean, it's fucked. It's insane. Like, I'd rather at least, have a better opportunity with this shit. And, it's like last time, I did a little agitation myself, but I wasn't really as aggressive about it back then. This time, I'm gonna fucking put like a goddamn hammer and sickle in this shit. The fucking kulaks are gonna be goddamn paying this time. The pros are gonna be having their fucking voice known this time. have a theory. Let me ask you something. Have you ever seen a store director in direct sunlight? Yep. Dude, when I clocked into work today, I was like 1 or 2 minutes over the 6-minute grace period of being late, and I was literally directly behind her before I clocked in, and when I went into my department, she was right there washing her hands, getting ready to fucking do our backstock load and shit. And she didn't realize. I don't think she realized I was there until well after that point. So I'm just hoping that she just thought I showed up at like 3:05 or some shit. Because I sort of fucking God, if she comes at me being like, "Hey, you showed up at 3:08," it's like, yeah, I was in the break room, taking my jacket off and having stuff ready to go, washing my hands preemptively before I clocked on. It's just like, I mean, I'm just gonna be honest. Like, I'm just gonna be straight up with her. It's like, it's not like I'm not showing up to work, before 3:06 or whatever the fuck. It's just that sometimes I don't immediately clock on because I've always, when I first ever started working, it's like, hey, if you're not necessarily ready to go to work, then, don't clock on until you're ready. And I know that we're being hard on shit like that. So I'm taking that premise, to its heart right now. Because, yeah, sure, I would, squeeze around, wear my hat, have my fucking jacket on and wear it in our fucking department until I'm, like, totally ready to go by grabbing my hat and apron, my proper store hat or whatever. And I've told her, it's like, hey, I'm going to keep this hat in the break room. If I'm wearing my jacket, I'm keeping that in the break room. And until I'm completely ready to start my shift, even if I'm at the store and in the break room, and stuff, until, like, I'm not clocking on until I'm ready to go. It's not like I'm, not there and shit. It's just that, like, I know how these policies are, and if you're being really strict about it, I'm abiding by that shit. And if it's not in that 6-minute grace period, it's not like I'm not there because I'm in the break room at that point. Like, do you want me to just clock on as soon as I get in there and then get myself ready? Where I don't know. It's like I'm gonna have to like specify for her, and I sort of fucking God, if she writes me up or suspends me again about this shit, again, I'm calling my fucking union rep and be like, no, fuck this shit. I'm challenging this because, like, I've been minding my P's and Q's. I've been, making sure that I abide by your fucking policies when it comes to this stuff. And this is, even prior to how things were, understand, prior to these things. Like, the 15-minute leeway. Even, I almost said the same. But the assistant store director, even he has told me these things. And it's like, you also have, said that, like, hey, like certain personal items, like maybe a Bluetooth speaker, as long as no one complains about it and no one, has any issues with it, stuff like that's okay. And, so it's obviously, there is, some leeway that you're able to have. Why is this suddenly, and you have talked to me about this before, why all of a sudden is it just, nope, it ain't, anything. And also when it comes to people in their lunch breaks, not just in my department, and when it comes to their 10-minute breaks in my own department, let alone everyone else's department, and your own PICs and managers as well, it's like, I ain't the only one doing this shit. In fact, I've been minding my PSQs to the point, like, at the maximum, I'm doing a 15-minute break. Maximum. And, like, legitimately. Like, I'll dead ass be honest with her about that. Maximum, I'm doing 15 minutes and no more than that. Like, because I live so close to home where it's about, if I take a nice little leisurely jog, 3 minutes to get here. Take a quick little, little bowl, refreshing on some tea, go, chug that, bitch up a little bit, take my shit off, cool down a little bit, stuff like that, take one more little bowl, charge my phone up a little bit, maybe grab a charger, maybe grab my fucking, debit card and my fucking passport and stuff for, paying for some stuff later when I get off the clock. Like, I do shit like that, and then I just immediately run back, maximum 15 minutes. Maximum. And it's like, and if she wants to fucking throw some shit at me because, oh, the camera showed otherwise, it's like, well, that's bullshit. Because I was in the break room. Or maybe I was directly outside talking to somebody before I went in. Shit like that. Like, because I do that. I'm a conversationalist and I like to hang out with people because I'm a regular around here. I've worked here for so long. It's not like, and granted, maybe I should be like, hey, I need to get back to work or whatever. But shit like that, whatever. I could get that. But I've been minding my PSQs. I'm not taking 20+ minute breaks anymore. Because look, I would skirt the lines about that shit. I'll be honest about that. But holy fuck, it's like, can you not realize that I'm minding my P's and Q's? I'm abiding by your policies. Even in the state of Oregon, the state law says that a worker, when it comes to 8-hour shift, is legally under state law allowed to have a 15-minute break. It's like there is that ability, regardless of company policy. So you really want to fucking fight that bullshit? If I'm at least doing maximum 15 minutes and that's about the most I'm doing, you can't fucking good at my ass.
You have to take a 2-minute break at a certain time, no matter what you're doing.
What? Wait, hold on. Here, come over here if you...
You have to take a 2-minute break at a certain time, no matter what you're doing.
At least at my work, you don't have to take it at a certain time, but if you're doing your 10-minute break, it has to be 10 minutes, even though there was legitimately, for the longest time, up until recently, a leeway point about shit like that. Where it's like, hey, as long as you're at least abiding by the Oregon state law aspect things where the maximum is 15 minutes, then whatever.
Yeah, I don't want to walk all the way back across the street to S1, take a break, walk all the way back, and then
She should get back cameras. I mean, no shit. Or just put more cameras in the fucking store if she wants to be a fucking Stasi goddamn agent. What is she, a fucking goddamn East German Stasi? Because that's what it feels like. I feel like when I go to work, I'm fucking living in East Germany. With the fucking Stasi watching my goddamn back every fucking thing I do. Because I get the fucking idea about, like, you need to, be on your 10-minute break and this and that. It's like, I get this shit. But I also understand what my workers' rights and Weingarten rights are, and also what the Oregon state law says about shit like this. And at the end of the day, I go by that shit. Because I know my rights. I know what the fucking Oregon state law says when it comes to my rights as a worker here in this, in the state. And I go by that shit. The company policy is basically just a way to circumnavigate it, or, pretty much, for people that don't know their rights, to pretty much, be like, oh no, let me exploit you further. Let me make you more of an automaton further. If you know your rights, you understand that shit's bullshit for the most part. Considering that the union board isn't even in the break room anymore, I'm wondering if this bitch, this fucking Irish cunt, is a fucking anti-union buster and is just literally trying to fucking sweep house of the fucking goddamn store and almost like union bust his store. Keep the store there, but just union bust it and basically eventually get to the point where you have enough fresh faces there to where they're not unionized, to where it basically just makes it a non-union shop. And at that point. That's what I'm wondering, because this whole idea of clearing house is more evident than ever as far as I can tell. And I think this is where it's coming from, because she's a corporate whore. She cares about, corporate fucking standards more so than the fucking standards of what this community is about. Because the last manager, she was, working here, at our store well before she became a department manager. And she had different stores that she was a department manager under well before she became a department store director at our store. So it's like, and when she came back as a store director, she had a rapport with a lot of us already. She's like, and honestly, she let us get away with a lot of shit. And honestly, even would skirt a lot of company policy and shit. Like, legit. But it's because she had a rapport. She trusted at least at the end of the day, we got production done. We got our job done. We got a lot of the shit that needed to be done. So it's like, hey, if we took a longer lunch, if we took a longer break, she didn't give a shit. As long as shit got done. And it's like, And honestly, that's my forte about it. I don't care like what you do on your off time when it comes to your breaks or lunches and shit. Even if it take a little longer. Like, I mean, as long as shit gets done, I don't care. Here, if it, come over here. I can't hear you over there. I want to hear what you're saying. I just can't. It just sounds mumbly from over there. I'll turn the sound to it a little bit. Well, don't hurt yourself.
You don't know what come over here.
Well, it's just easier to hear you.
Yeah. But a good boss will, give you leeway on your time and just like, job's done.
Well, I mean, what's honestly fucked is that the last. Well, what's fucked is that the last fucking store directed that we had was like that, and look, she was a little bit of a hard ass on certain things, but nowadays I just view her in a positive light because I'm just like, oh my god, can we please have her back? Holy shit! Because I mean, like, she legit was like, look, she would be hard on about like production and stuff like that. Like, our current store director is like that too, but I mean, at least the last one will let us have a little leeway as long as shit just got done. Even if at least you tried, it's like, hey, I want like this X amount of like, production done. If you at least got half of it done and, the rest of your daily duties, when it comes to closing or some shit done, she didn't care. You at least did, put some effort, you know what I mean? Like, but this current fucking director, oh no. Oh, hell fuck no, dude. She's so fucking cutthroat and will nitpick you on every fucking little thing. And my department manager, I don't know if you heard a story, but like the other day, she literally like went up to me and Skittle, like, Scotty, I like to nickname Skittle, but she came up to both of us like fucking crying with tears in her eyes because she and the entire department, I guess by proxy includes me, were written up over some bullshit because she apparently failed a food safety walk or some shit because some aprons and hats were on some food rack or some shit or whatever the fuck. Minuscule, minute bullshit that it just means nothing for the most part, like whatever. But
like they'll nitpick you for anything just for
and they're nitpicking me like and honestly, like, I know I've had animosity in my workplace, but frankly, like, and because I've been working there for 8 fucking years, as a blue collar worker, like, so a lot of times when I've been bitching about that place, like, have I, like, honestly, like, when it comes to animosity about that place, like, I dread fucking working there now. Even at the times when I bitch about that place, the last like 4, 5, 8 years I worked there, like, at this point, I'm just like, I dread going there now. I'm just waiting for the fucking day I get called in the office again, I'm suspended, and then the last time I get called in, I'm fired or whatever the fuck, or some shit like that. Honestly, in a weird way, I'll fucking welcome it now, because then I can get unemployment. So whatever, fuck them. If they want to do that, I can get some unemployment. I'll still be a part of the fucking union at that point, and just like, honestly, if I need to hyper focus on that shit, be like, hey, yo, you want to hire me or something?
Usually, the places I do, like Safeway, I get shuffled
Slaveway
there really quick, but other places, it's just like, I love this guy. It might take a little bit longer, but he does one hell of a job.
I just kind of...
I do the same thing at large corporations or governments, and you get some guy with a bug up his butt and just...
Bug up his ass. Yeah, like hair up his ass. I mean, yeah, like where they think, they have to like, make some extra bonus, so they can, because fundamentally they're just looking for their extra cut. Because I know the reason, like, because I've seen the pattern. At least, when it comes to a corporate retail sense.
You have to write so many speeding tickets or whatever.
A quota. Exactly. Yeah, it's the quota. Because like when it comes to the retail grocery aspect of things, there, a lot of the managerial, mainly store directors and above, and district heads and shit, like they get a quarterly fiscal bonus every, fiscal quarterly and shit, and every year, pretty much 4 times a year, where like depending on if they meet their certain quotas and they hyper fucking, push that shit on other stores and to maximize that shit and fuck the consequences, or fuck whatever, if people have to be fired or they get overworked to the point they quit or this and that or whatever, who cares? As long as we make that quota or maximize that shit, then that's in a lot of the cases, that's really what they give a fuck about. I've seen the pattern way too many fucking times, where it's like that's just kind of really what they're about. And I guarantee you, my current store director is exactly about that shit. I know
exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, and it's like, and honestly, I want to, here's the weird thing about it.
It's just like, okay, it's getting towards the end of the month, better drive really carefully, otherwise they'll pull you over because they need to make their...
Well, at least when it comes to like, like the private type, like retail companies and shit like that, right? When it comes to their fiscally bonuses shit, like, here's at least my perspective about it. It's like, I'm not even inherently against it, but we're the ones who bake and make the fucking bread that they, profit off. It's like, why aren't we getting a cut off of their bonuses? Like, we deserve the bonus too, because we're the ones who are making the money for their motherfuckers to make the bonuses. So shouldn't we also get that too? Even if it's a little smaller, because we're on the smaller chain or whatever the fuck, like whatever.
Really
but
good bosses will, you get a bonus, they'll just like split it with you.
Not at least not in the industry that I'm in though. Like maybe certain industry. Well, certain industries are like that. I mean, because they have that leeway.
Bosses will take the bonus for themselves, and when they're supposed to split it up with the workers.
Well, that's kind of how. Well, that's kind of how retail is. Is that whole like split it with the workers is not really a thing. I mean, it's more. I mean, that's why I say it's there are industries or like definitely different businesses that apply that more often, especially like the mom and pop bar or whatever the fuck, right? Like because they are a lot more likely to do shit like that.
Really good at the mom and pop corporations. Big corporations are.
Because they have a lot more of a voice, and have a lot more power, versus the worker at that point. And that's why the collective voice of the, it comes to with that song "Solidarity Forever." There ain't no weaker voice than the meager voice of one.
It's quota, and suddenly they realize it's like, well, he's not making his quota, but he's doing a damn good job. And we fired him. Because suddenly everything's getting all fucked. Look at the tropic islands around here. Well, you're just a little teeny kid. Just from the tropic islands, but they look damn good.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of feel like they could be a little better sometimes.
Spending too much time working on the tropic islands, I want them to look good.
I mean, especially if
every tropic island.
Especially when it comes to the like.
I got to say, pop all the way from 82nd down to where Division. Son of a bitch.
I mean, like, when you want to like take extra care on things like that because it like adds to the broader like profit value or like the just general like property value of the area around there, because the more worn out and fucked up it looks, the less property value there is in the area. So the better it looks, the more property value there is, right? Like, I mean, even in a capitalistic perspective, you would think, do you want to take extra care on things like that? You know what I mean? Like, so I mean,
as far as government, you get a little bit of extra revenue, but it's something that has to be done. So you want to hire somebody that does a really good job, and you got that little teeny bump. It's not much, or whatever. You have happy employees, happy people. They drive by
nice, pristine looking, shiny traffic island, and they're just like, yeah, this is great. Yeah. I mean, even with like, and same thing when it comes to like different, infrastructure around here, even like the roads around here, like even Drake got fucking revamped not too long ago, and it's like I am so fucking happy. Like I'm actually kind of glad that our local mayor is actually kind of kept up with the policies that fucking oh god, holy shit, what was his name again? Cat. It was like, oh my god, I forget her name. I know Mark Gamba was the previous mayor. Oh, Bynum. No, Janelle Bynum's going to be she's the nominee for the District 5 congressional seat. So she's going to be running against Lori Doremer Shammer or whatever her fucking name is. Okay. I wish it was Jamie McGlow Skinner though, because like I honestly thought she was better, but Bynum has got a lot of APAC money backing her, so she just won just on the virtue of ad money and shit because of that. Keep on getting. She's a fucking corporate Democrat, so I don't like her that much. Anti-Bynum stuff. I'm just like, I saw that too. I saw one that shit earlier where she's like, she defends rapists. It's like, I guarantee you that is so cherry picked and bullshit. Like, I have a strong feeling that some of this stuff I've seen, yeah, it's just like, look, because honestly, I don't hate her. I just like, she's just a corporate dem, but like when it comes to a lot of policies between her and like Jamie McGlow Skinner, they're not too far different. It's just that Jamie McGlow Skinner is more like anti-war on foreign policy stuff, and that includes like when it comes to Israel and Palestine and shit and stuff. So Janelle Bynum is a lot more reserved about things like that. So anti-Israel. I mean, if you've heard and seen the footage and a lot of what the fucking IDF has been doing, like they've literally are now, like the IDF is invading the West Bank now, even though that's seen as like a place where they would never touch. It's not just Gaza anymore. Like they pretty much because of we invaded Germany in World War II. Well, I mean, considering that Israel's doing a lot of fucking German World War II style fucking policies and shit, like because this is. Well, here's the thing, like this is legitimately a fact. Like there has been proven that. There were different. Hold on. Okay, hold on. What? Come back here. Hold on. Like, here, like, because I know that, you kind of overhear about a lot of different things that I say, but it's like, here, I want to actually like describe this to you real quick, because I mean, what I'm about to say is like legitimately a fact that happened where. There were different IDF soldiers that were caught on video literally gang raping fucking Palestinian prisoners. They should be right for treason and shot. Well, the problem is, though, the Israeli government literally pardoned them and have actually been, pushing them all over local national media in their country as literal war heroes. Like, and that is fucking... Back in history, that was encouraged. Now it's... condemned, so that's it should be, but the thing is, like I said though, like those individuals are seen as war heroes because like they gang raped prisoners and fucking violated their human rights and tortured them. Basically, it's like, I mean, it's gone to a point beyond just like, you're not be a war hero for doing that. You're being a war hero for winning. But the Israeli government, but the thing is, though, again, shuts up about it. And the Palestinians are the worst ever. No, they're not. They're literally. Hold on. I don't know what you're listening to. Anyhow. No, I'm literally listening to fucking facts on the ground about these things. What I'm saying again. Listening to your podcast. It's a whole bunch of lies. No, it's not. You're walking away because you're triggered because I'm talking about objective facts. I'm hungry in the microwave, please. I need to eat. Yeah, cry more, bitch. You fucking Zionist. Fucking fascist. Jesus Christ. The worst ever because they get gang raped by fucking, and literally raped by dogs by fucking Israelites. because the fucking Zionistic fucking bullshit, and we're going right back to that fucking rant again, I guess, because like the fucking Israeli state does not deserve to exist anymore because of fucking Zionistic fascism like this. It's been conditioned too much to the point where it is a fucking Nazistic evil, and this fucking idea that these, the Palestinians and the Arabs are fucking ultimate evil is fundamentally a racist, bigoted fucking position. And Zionists and Israelites, and you know what? At this point, fucking Jews and Christians need a fucking answer for this shit. They're the ones at fault for this because they have brainwashed an entire fucking culture, nations, and fucking society over this fucking idea. They have indoctrinated fucking nations over this shit. So fuck them. They're scum. They're parasites. How dare they fucking push their evil fascist agenda, exterminating Palestinians, fucking slaughtering and gang raping and letting dogs rape fucking Palestinians because, they're the holy supreme people. They're fucking parasites. Fuck them. And fuck the hostages, too. I could give a fuck about them. They should blame the fucking Israeli government for their fucking plight and for their deaths. And the families should be blaming Israel for it. But they never will. They're too brainwashed in their fucking racist, bigoted, fucking brainwashed bullshit. And the idea that these Arabs and these Palestinians are fucking evil. Fucking scum, these fucking Nazis. Fucking demons upon our fucking human species. Fuck all of them. How dare they fucking even spout their bullshit, thinking they're fucking morally, liberally fucking enlightened. Like there's some liberal bastion of morality. Fucking fascist Nazi scum. Nazi punks fuck off, and that includes these Israelites too. If they want to act like Nazis, then they could fuck off like a Nazi. Fuck that bigoted bullshit. This little doggo, is innocent of all that shit. Well, let's grant that. But anyway, get myself some glizzies and all that shit. So, probably a great idea to wrap it up with some shit in my goat, but whatever. What else can I say about when it comes to that fucking fascist regime? So, raise out and all that good shit. So, ba-da-doo.